Welcome to the Egg Whisperer Show, a program exclusively designed to promote reproductive health awareness and discuss fertility preservation options. Here is your host, the Harvard-educated fertility specialist, Dr. Aimee.
She's known as the Egg Whisperer. Fertility expert Dr. Aimee today.
And you have yet another success story
Just launched by an East Bay fertility doctor.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching tonight's show. My name is Dr. Aimee, and tonight's show is titled, Does Sperm Really Matter? You can probably imagine I have Google alerts for everything, and I just read all the articles that come in, and it seems to be that there is something called penis panic out there. I guarantee you that this is called fertility clickbait. These are just opportunities for people to get you to click on things that honestly just make no sense. I can reassure you that fertility doctors nowhere believe in penis panic. We're not hanging out talking about it. We're not saying, oh, did you hear about that penis panic? We're not panicking. I don't want you to panic either. But certainly having titles like this are catchy. They're interesting. But no one is going to ask you how long it is. No one's going to ask you if it's making you nervous about the size or if that somehow is related to your fertility, and it's not. Imagine me asking women what their bra sizes are. That's not related to our fertility, and neither is your penis size. So Newsweek, while it's cute, I almost thought it was an April Fool's Day gag, but it seems like you're not the only one that's jumping on this bandwagon. Because recently we saw another article, and here's the title here, Why is everyone freaking out about sperm counts? And then they use that term again, the new penis panic. It says a lot more about male anxiety than fertility. Again, the cut, we're not anxious, none of us are. So thanks for inducing or instilling in us this idea that there should be this penis panic. But folks everywhere, I want you to relax, meditate. We'll talk about the fertility team. The M is meditation and mindfulness. I reassure you that there isn't anything too scary going on here. We talk about standing at the egg cliff. Women all run out of eggs and we don't want anyone standing there. But sperm, they don't have a sperm cliff. Certainly, sperm counts go down over time, and there's a lot of things to learn from this article, but I can reassure you that, guys, I'm not feeling sorry for you right now. I know, that sounds kind of harsh and kind of mean, but this idea that there's a spermageddon, no, this is just fiction. This is just, again, created by online news sources because they know people are going to click on articles like this. And here's what this stuff has to teach us. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you that my comments were actually published in The Cut. And my comments were, to be blunt, I don't feel sorry for men at all. Unlike men who experience low sperm counts, women don't just see a lower egg count, but they can run out completely before completing their family. There's nothing more cruel than infertility. For women with no eggs, no such luck. Women must look for an egg donor. There's a freak out about declining sperm count, but where is the same sympathy for women? Where is our headline? People think it's cute when a guy who's, let's say, 70 years old knocks up a 35-year-old. Great. Oh, so cute. But as soon as a woman is older who gets pregnant with a younger guy, the first thing we say, oh, she's so old. That's not fair, in my humble opinion. We're living longer. All our milestones are changing as far as the age that we're completing them at. And as long as that's happening and men can have kids at a later age, well, so should women. We should be able to. So here's what articles like this teach us, though. Obesity and infertility go hand in hand. And if you know my personality just a little bit, both of those terms make me cringe. I don't like the term obese. It seems slanderous to me, but certainly it's in the medical textbooks, it's in the literature, so I'm just going to talk about it. Look, 1 in 5 people are considered obese. I prefer the word curvy. And that means millions of Americans are obese, over 35% of this country is obese, and what does that mean? As those trends rise, we're also going to see a rise in infertility and a lowering of the sperm counts. And that's just a fact. The other thing that we learn from articles like this is that the American pizza and beer diet will affect generations to come. You know that you've heard of the saying that you are what you eat. Well, you're not only what you eat, but so are your kids. So trimester 0, that's the trimester where you're supposed to be planning a pregnancy, where most people just walk in the bar and order a tequila. Well, we should be doing that in the setting of a doctor's office. And even if you have a desired pregnancy that wasn't necessarily planned, I would go see your doctor and see what can you do to make your pregnancy as healthy as possible. And if you're a fertility patient, you have the opportunity to do that. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if you opened up your Domino's Pizza and you saw a little flyer for a semen analysis and they just come to your door whenever you want for a home collection kit and send it off and give you an analysis? Not so cool. But you get my point. Same thing with a six pack of beer. I'm thinking maybe dedicate a week to sperm health education, where you can get a free semen analysis for every 6-pack that you ordered or bought. And no, I don't think any guy's going to be signing up for that. But you see what I mean? I think that birth control pills should have this mass infertility warning. Well, maybe we're going to get to that point where pizza and beer boxes should have the same. I doubt it. I totally doubt it. But what we're learning from epigenetic studies is that people who are overweight may have a higher propensity toward having overweight kids. Same thing for men with a low sperm count, and that could be caused from being overweight. Men with lower sperm counts also have boys with lower sperm counts. This is just science. I mean, it's called epigenetic. It's a phenomenon. We know about it. We're learning more and more about it. But this doesn't just affect sperm. So this idea that spermageddon is coming, people, it's not just about sperm. This stuff affects eggs too. And there's nothing more unfair than a woman who runs out of eggs before she's done having her kids. And it can happen for some women at 30, for other women at 35, for others at 40. And there are some people that can have kids over the age of 42, but that's really rare. You heard me. I constantly say, get your levels checked, get your levels checked, get your levels checked, because that's all we have for women. But for men, freezing sperm is so easy. So take care of yourselves, get yourself in the best shape ever so that your pregnancy, I know it sounds weird, your pregnancy, guys, it's your pregnancy, will also be as healthy as ever. If you're a patient of mine, we talk about prenatal vitamins for men. I don't just give my female patients prenatal vitamins, I also ask guys to take them too. So this is the other thing these articles are teaching us, that chemicals in the environment are affecting not just our bodies, not just our environment, but our bodies too. And this really nice study that was published very recently this summer showed that bottlenose dolphins in Florida had detectable levels of endocrine disruptors called phthalates in their urine. I don't know how they measure dolphin pee. I really don't know. And I maybe I'll Google it later because now I'm kind of curious now that I'm talking about it. But what does this mean if a mammal that's not even putting makeup on or using cosmetics or drinking water bottles that are plastic, if they're not even consuming those things and it's in their environment and it's in their urine, what does that mean for us as human beings? I think that just means that we're being poisoned and we don't even know it. So be really careful about what you consume, what chemicals you're putting in your body, on your body, so that whatever you're doing is just promoting future health and fertility and not hurting your fertility in any ways. I mean, sure, there's those simple things like don't smoke. Smoking is a sperm killer. Same with being an egg killer, right? Like that's obvious stuff. But there are other things that people just don't know about. For example, what's in your furniture, what's on your patent leather bag or the receipt paper that you're touching. So I will post a link to the article that's going to go with this show that will teach you about how you can be more environmentally conscious as to how that will affect your fertility health. So all the tips will be there for you to read and understand and see what you can do even better. So the last thing these articles teach us is about the climate. And I'm trying to be funny here when I say, don't cook your balls. But you know what? I say that in my office all the time. I literally tell guys, look, don't cook your balls. But honestly, the climate, it's not helping us. There's a beautiful study done out of UCLA showing that fertility rates or birth rates were lower 9 months after heat waves. So you would maybe think that there might be something to that the hotter the temperature is, the lower the sperm counts are, the lower fertility rates and subsequent birth rates might be. I might be taking a leap here, but I actually don't think I am. And I know that geologists will be studying this more, especially the one who published this very well done article. So again, while this is affecting eggs and sperm, this is something for us to pay attention to. And as a society, do whatever we can to improve our population's health and well-being and ultimately our fertility. And at the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for sperm at all. I know that sounds really, really cruel, but women, we run out of eggs and there's nothing more cruel than that. And we can't take a cup, go watch a movie and put them in a cup. Our eggs, we can't just put them in a cup and get them frozen. We have to go through an invasive procedure called egg freezing in order to freeze our eggs. So as long as men still have sperm, you're not getting any sympathy from me. I'm actually quite an empathetic person. You are getting sympathy from me, but you get my point. Because like I said, there's nothing more cruel than infertility. And I don't see any headlines talking about, I don't know what to call it. I'm not going to call it the opposite of penis panic, but I'm going to say there's no such thing as egg panic. No one's feeling sorry for us that we go through menopause, but I wish that we can put research dollars. Someone out there, listen to this. I wish that you can dedicate money just to help women figure out a way that we can grow more eggs once we've run out, because I feel like there's definitely something going on where women might be running out sooner, having lower quality eggs, and no matter what we do as far as supplements, health, and fitness, there's something going on, and I wish that there was a way or a tool that I had in my toolbox that I can help women everywhere. So there's no such thing as Botox for our ovaries. And you know where I'm going with this, because I saw this article and I was shocked and horrified. No, I wasn't. But I'm not showing you the picture that goes along with this because you don't want to see a set of balls that have had Botox injected into them. So while you can inject Botox into your scrotum, you cannot inject Botox into your ovaries. But you know what I mean. You can't freeze your eggs in that way. There's no ways to just put a standstill on it. The biggest risk factor for fertility for women is 3 letters, AGE, which is age. Doesn't matter how healthy you look when you're 43 or 44. And I see so many patients who want babies well past their 40s, even over 45, even over 50. And they just don't, well, they do understand. That's not right for me to say. They understand, but they don't understand why there isn't a way for me to be able to help them. So as long as there's no Botox for our ovaries, guys, we just don't have as much sympathy for you, and I will just continue to be throwing my egg freezing parties to dedicate and teach, or to dedicate to this fertility public health awareness campaign that I've always been on, and to teach women about the simple ways that they can test their fertility. Through the Tushy method, which is a fertility screening method using 5 simple steps: checking your fallopian tubes, looking at your uterus, checking your sperm, hormones, and your genetics, and then incorporating that with the IVF diet for patients, or Egg Whisperer diet for patients who are going through IVF, which is a simple tool to look at your diagnosis before your IVF cycle and look carefully at the endometrium, which is the lining of the uterus, before you transfer. And putting that all together with your fertility team that will include, hopefully, if needed, a therapist, an exercise and eating plan, an acupuncturist, mindfulness, and meditation. So I hope you enjoyed this show. I did threaten my sister that I would sing tonight, so I am going to actually play my pitch pipe right here. I'm going to have to play that again. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I love Salt and Pepper. And every time I hear a song, I always sing along, but I create my own lyrics. So I'm going to do my version of Salt and Pepper. Just give me 1 second. No, I think I can't. Can I? Okay, let's do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What a sperm, what a sperm, what a sperm, what a mighty good sperm. Yeah, I think I should definitely be keeping my day job. It was either medicine or music, and you can tell why I chose medicine, I hope. So guys, thanks for joining me tonight. Please look out for our next shows, and we look forward to teaching you more about sperm, egg health, and all the good things about how to create healthy families. Thanks again, and have a good night.
Welcome to the Egg Whisperer Show, a program exclusively designed to promote reproductive health awareness and discuss fertility preservation options. Here is your host, the Harvard-educated fertility specialist, Dr. Aimee.
She's known as the Egg Whisperer. Fertility expert Dr. Aimee,
And you have yet another success story
just launched by an East Bay fertility doctor.